Skull Nation, stop everything. U.S. Bank Stadium just shook with breaking news. The front office just admitted mistakes. The quarterback room is broken. A tight end getting paid $21 million might be gone. And a Pro Bowl edge rusher is on the chopping block despite a 4-year deal signed just last season. 3 stories, 1 salary cap nightmare. Here's the first payoff. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah confessed the Vikings mishandled the Daniel Jones situation, and J.J. McCarthy was drafted on incomplete information. That's not speculation, that's the GM speaking. If you bleed purple more than you hate the Packers, hit like and subscribe right now, because the front office just pulled back the curtain on decisions that cost Minnesota a playoff spot. We start with a shocking admission that changes everything about the 2026 quarterback room. Stay locked, there's a double cliffhanger at the end.
Tuesday press conference. Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah at the podium. The cameras rolling. And then it happened. The admission nobody expected. Who dropped the bomb? Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings. And here's why this changes the entire 2026 offseason. A reporter asked if the Vikings were overconfident about Daniel Jones returning to the practice squad after being released by the New York Giants in November 2024. Adofo-Mensah's response, transcribed by Sports Illustrated's Joe Nelson, was stunning. I don't want to say overconfidence, but I do think him being here was something that we kind of considered and thought would impact his decision. But ultimately, there are free agents, and to your point, learning lessons. I think execution-wise, you have to treat it as such. No matter what the conversation is or relationships are, free agents are free for a reason, and they're allowed to vet all their options. Ultimately, we could have executed better around that. Translation, the Vikings assumed Daniel Jones would stay. They thought the relationship mattered more than opportunity. They were wrong. Jones signed with the Indianapolis Colts before the 2025 season and led them to an 8-4 record before rupturing his Achilles in early December. That injury ended Indianapolis' season. They dropped from 8-4 and fighting for the AFC's #1 seed to completely out of the playoffs, finishing 8-9. But here's the kicker. The Vikings wanted Jones back to push J.J. McCarthy. Adofo-Mensah confirmed it. You're trying to make sure that you don't lock yourselves into what you did and thinking that it's always right.
I always go back to the process and what we thought at the time. It's easier to go and be revisionist and results-based, but going to really think through what we had at the time, I still understand why we did what we did. The results maybe didn't play out the way we wanted them to, but ultimately, I think that at the end of the day, we could have executed better in certain places. The Vikings wanted competition at quarterback. They wanted someone to make McCarthy earn the job. Instead, they handed him the keys without a legitimate backup plan. McCarthy's play did not justify their decision. 9 games, 10 interceptions, 5 touchdown passes, a passer rating of 79.2. And now, the Vikings are again looking for quarterback stability heading into the 2026 offseason. Do you think the Vikings should have kept Daniel Jones? Drop yes or no below. And if you believe Kwesi Adofo-Mensah just admitted the 2025 season was wasted, smash that like button and let the NFC North know Skull Nation is demanding accountability. But while the front office confesses quarterback mistakes, another massive decision looms at tight end. A former Pro Bowler with a $21 million cap hit might be playing his last snaps in purple. Replacement already on the roster? Next. $21.3 million. That's TJ Hawkinson's cap hit for 2026, second highest among all tight ends in the NFL right now, according to Over the Cap. The question isn't if Hawkinson is gone, the question is who replaces him. The name? Ben Urasek. And here's why the undrafted rookie might be the most cost-effective answer Minnesota has. Hawkinson's production since his major knee injury late in the 2023 season has declined. It wasn't his fault. Knee injuries derail careers, but the Vikings can't afford sentiment when they're staring at a $40 million salary cap deficit. Any pre-June 1st move to release Hawkinson would leave behind more dead money than the cap savings it creates. But there should be options on the trade front for the Vikings to recoup some kind of value, potentially with teams like the San Francisco 49ers, who are desperate for tight end help. Enter Ben Urasek, undrafted out of Georgia in 2025. Played just 116 offensive snaps this season over 12 games. But here's the upside. 40 of those snaps came over the final 2 games when Hawkinson was out.
And what did Jurasek do? He delivered. PFF recently highlighted their 10 highest-graded undrafted rookies from the 2025 regular season. Jurasek ranked number 8 with a 63.5 overall PFF grade. Nearly 80% of his snaps were as a blocker. His PFF pass blocking grade? 79.6, sixth best among all tight ends when removing the qualifying snap minimum. In Week 18 against the Packers, Jurasek played a career-high 26 snaps and earned an elite 90.4 PFF overall grade, powered by an 81.9 PFF run-blocking grade. That's not a fluke, that's a statement. Jurasek didn't light up the stat sheet late in his college career. 31 receptions over 20 games for Stanford and Georgia in 2023 and 2024. But he topped 40 catches in both 2021 and 2022 while playing for Stanford. In 2021, he was top 10 in the Pac-12 in receiving yards with 658 and yards per catch at 15.3. There's untapped potential as a pass catcher. The blocking ability is already proven. Josh Oliver is locked in as the primary blocking tight end, but he's not a TE1 in what anyone would hope to be a top-tier offense. Jurasek could be. And at the cost? Undrafted rookie scale. No other way to find a new TE1 would be more cost-effective. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been adept at finding undrafted players who become key contributors. Jurasek may be next in that line if he gets a legit chance to climb the depth chart. Do you think Ben Jurasek can replace TJ Hawkinson as the Vikings starting tight end? Vote below, yes or no. And if you believe undrafted rookies are the future of smart roster building, hit like and let the league know Minnesota is watching the tape. But while the tight end room faces change, the edge rusher position is about to get messy. A Pro Bowler who signed a 4-year deal just last season is now a cut candidate. Cap casualties aren't always about performance. Sometimes they're about timing. Next. 4 years, $76 million. That was the contract Jonathan Greenard signed with the Minnesota Vikings before the 2025 season, after posting 12 sacks with the Houston Texans in 2024. 1 year later, he's a cut candidate. The name? Jonathan Greenard. And here's why his future in Minnesota is suddenly uncertain. Greenard's 2025 season was disappointing. 3 sacks in 12 games before landing on season-ending injured reserve. That's it, 3, after 12 the year before. His $22.2 million cap hit for 2026 is now under the microscope. A pre-June 1st release would save $12.3 million in cap space. Over the Cap's Nick Corte recently released his annual list of 100 players who are candidates to have their contracts either terminated or restructured. Greenard made the list, but here's the context. It's not quite a harbinger that Greenard will be released. It's more a starting place for teams and a potential list of players who have much to prove next season. Corte wrote, "As always, it is stressed that most players on this list will likely not be cut. There are many mitigating factors as to why players show up on this list. One, of course, is injury, particularly to players who missed most of the season, although it can also be an aggravating factor if the team determines that injury has made the player unreliable on his contract. Quality of roster depth at the player's position is another. Teams are also always willing and able to break the trends of contract fate and keep players they think will be helpful for next season's roster. So what's the verdict? Greenard is unlikely to be cut. Here's why. When looking at his 2024 season with Houston, he brought immense surplus value to his contract, posting the second most pressures in the NFL with 84. Currently, the top 10 edge rushers in the league have contracts worth $28 million or more annually. Daniel Hunter's deal with the Houston Texans, $35.6 million per year. Greenard's contract, $19 million annually. That ranks 18th at his position. Entering the penultimate year of his deal, Greenard will approach the 2026 season as a prove-it year for a potential extension next offseason. He needs another season like he had in 2024 before he can go back to the negotiation table. For now, the Vikings have an upside edge rusher contract that was a catalyst to Brian Flores' rebuild of the defense. Greenard is going nowhere, but the fact that he's even on the list tells you everything about Minnesota's cap situation. When a Pro Bowler signed just 1 year ago is being discussed as a cut candidate, the financial state of the franchise is dire. Do you think Jonathan Greenard bounces back in 2026? Comment bounce back or bust below. And if you believe the Vikings are in salary cap hell, smash that like and let Packers fans know the North is about to get messy.
But while edge rusher decisions loom, the bigger picture is screaming at the front office. Cap casualties, quarterback mistakes, tight end trades, and a defensive coordinator potentially leaving. The 2026 offseason is about to be brutal. 3 stories, 1 franchise at a crossroads.
Kwesi Adofo-Mensah admitting the Vikings mishandled Daniel Jones and drafted J.J. McCarthy on incomplete information. Ben Urasek emerging as T.J. Hawkinson's replacement at a fraction of the cost. And Jonathan Greenard, a Pro Bowl edge rusher, now a cut candidate after 1 year. These are connected threads of a $40 million cap nightmare. If the Vikings can't navigate this, Green Bay stays open, Detroit stays stacked, and Chicago closes the gap. Vikings contend if they make right moves. Keep Flores, find a veteran QB, trust rookies like Urasek, accept Pro Bowlers might go. Here's what I need. 1. Like if Kwesi had the most honest press conference. 2. Drop your prediction. Does McCarthy start? Does Hawkinson get traded? Does Greenard bounce back? 3. Subscribe because it makes Packers fans furious. Here's the cliff. 60 days until decisions. Flores considering Washington. Jefferson watching. Packers clearing $15 million for the same cornerback Minnesota needs. The next 60 days define 5 years. Subscribe and we ride together.